Yeah, I've been feeling very guilty because I promised you part two of self-sabotage in the workplace, and yeah, I have not delivered on time. Apologies for that. But I'll go through part two today. I spoke about 5 ways in which people sabotage their own careers, and I mentioned only two, so today I'm gonna go through three. These are just my 5 ways. There's many other ways that people, sabotage their own careers. I'm just mentioning these five that I've seen a lot. So I spoke about emotional immaturity or a lack of emotional intelligence, and then I also spoke about limiting beliefs about yourself. So that is the two that I spoke about in my first video. And now on my second video, I'm going to be speaking about the next 3 things. And yeah, the reason why I haven't done the second video, I've been busy, guys. Like, yeah, those who work where I work will know that this period is hectic. It is busy, so I really haven't had time. Even today, I'm just going to be going through my notes, just straight from my notes, and I'll give you the other 3 things. And yeah, they are as follows. So the next 3 things, it's a lack of confidence, it's a victim mentality, as well as desire for control. Those are the 3 things that make up the 5 ways in which people sabotage their own careers. And I think, yeah, lack of confidence, I think that one most of you should know. You are aware of that. I mean, if you don't have confidence, obviously you are sabotaging your own career. And under confidence, I'm just here then to talk about self-doubt. You know, that voice inside your head that's telling you that you are not enough, you're not good enough for this big audit project, or to manage this big audit project. You are not smart enough, you are not qualified enough, you are not even pretty enough. Yeah, even that. I mean, yeah, that mentality of just not being good enough, it's a lack of confidence. It's self-doubt. So self-doubt, it stops you really from challenging yourself. For example, you'd be someone who does not go to networking events because you think you have nothing to offer, or people won't like your personality. And we know that in our profession, networking is something that's very, very important. So if you are someone who lacks confidence, then you will avoid, for example, networking, which is in a way or indirectly sabotaging your career. Yeah, so those are the things that I've come across, especially, yeah, with the people that I coach. Yeah, I've noticed that, you know what, confidence, it comes up a lot of people come to me wanting confidence, sometimes with interviews. How do I become confident when I go to an interview? But also they just want to be confident in their workplace, how to show up boldly, without that inferiority, just showing up confidently when you're doing your work. And this is something that I really coach people about, yeah, a lot. So yeah, I've come across this many times. There are people sometimes who don't even apply for jobs because they think they don't have enough experience. That's self-doubt. It's a lack of confidence. And if you're doubting yourself and your own abilities, really sabotaging your own career, believe you me, you do have a lot to offer. And if you book a one-on-one coaching session, I can actually help you to be confident, because you do have a lot to offer. And then number 4, I'm still on ways that people sabotage their own career, and it's victim mentality. And this one, it's really a big one. Yeah, no, this one, I have a lot to say on this one. And I've come across a lot of people with a victim mentality in the workplace. From when I was a trainee, from when I entered the workforce, I could see people who have a victim mentality. And I've also been someone who has a victim mentality. As I say, I normally coach people on areas that I've also been through. So I coach people based on my experience, things that I saw that, okay, no, this one, it's sabotaging my career. I need to stop this. How do I fix this? Do I need to see a therapist? What do I need to do? Do I need to see a coach? So it's things that I've picked up in my own self. Yeah, and I've obviously rectified. So victim mentality. So these people, they always blame others. They never take responsibility. When things go wrong, it's because of other people. It's because of my colleagues. It's because of my boss. It's because of this person who didn't do that. It's just never them. Never. It's never them. It's always others. A person with a victim mentality, you'll just notice it in conversations that they always speak about their problems. And sometimes they do it to get attention, to make people feel sorry for them. Yeah, in a way, they are attention seekers, even though they don't know it. So it's just always about them, and nothing that happens in their life is their own fault. It's always others. They believe that their reality is shaped by other people other than themselves. These are the people where if their line manager, for example, calls them out on something wrong that they did at work or on poor performance, they would label the line manager as being personal. So these are people with the victim mentality. And when you go back to search, really you find that no, but actually this person was wrong. Their line manager was correct to call them out on whatever it is. So these are people with the victim mentality. They like to just make things personal, and I've said this quite a lot, that in the workplace nothing is ever personal. I mean, we don't know each other in the workplace on a personal level. I mean, it's rare. There are those few people, yes, you might know personally, but in most cases we really don't know each other on a personal level. There is never a reason for anyone to just be personal. So if your line manager is addressing performance gaps, that is not personal, guys. They are actually just helping you to grow, and I think you just need to change your lens and look at it from the right perspective. They are helping you to grow, but also put yourself in your manager's shoes and think about the fact that they also want to achieve the goals of the organization. So if they are addressing a performance gap, it's because they are just trying to achieve the goals of the organization. It's never personal. So these are the people with the victim mentality. They say things like, I didn't get a raise because my boss hates me, my colleagues sabotage my report, and so and so. People did this to spite me, blah blah blah. So all those things, it's people who have a victim mentality, and that mentality, it is sabotaging your career if you do not watch out for that. And it also just hinders your work relationships, because in the workplace, believe it or not, it's very important that we build relationships. These professional relationships, they are very, very important. I'll speak about that, I guess, in another video, or if you need me to coach you on that, we can delve deeper on it. So yeah, that's that victim mentality. And the last point that I want to discuss under 5 ways in which people sabotage their careers, it's with desire for control. And this one, I wouldn't know about other professions, but I know that I've seen it a lot in my profession, the CASA profession, because there's a lot of smarties there, perfectionists. It does affect perfectionists and people who just have a desire to be in control all the time. They prefer things to be done their own way. Sometimes they prefer to work in isolation because they just want to do things themselves their own way. These people, they're often just not team players. They're not good team players. They want to shine on their own. Probably they want to shine on their own, but they don't share a task. They don't give others exposure because they just want to complete a task themselves. It also has an element of trust, because it means that they don't trust others to do the task, according to their specifications. So these are the people who have a desire for control. And if you are this person, I think you just need to notice these traits. Hopefully you notice them early enough so that you address them, because these things, they actually do sabotage your career. Maybe this one it doesn't sabotage your career in a bad way, but I think it does affect this person who has a desire for control. It affects them emotionally, because these people tend to be isolated, and they also burn out, because if you want to do everything yourself, then at some point you're going to burn out. There's a lot to unpack on this thing, but I'm just sharing the briefs, on each topic. So I've mentioned the 5 ways in which people sabotage their own careers, and these are just my 5 ways. There's so many ways in which people sabotage their careers. For example, there are people who overpromise but then they underdeliver. I always advise people, rather rather not promise or overpromise at all, when you're just going to overpromise and then underdeliver. That is sabotaging your own career, because you're going to be someone who's known as being unreliable. There are people who compare themselves to others. That one, yeah, I don't even know what to say about that, but yeah, it's huge. It's it's just pointing to, again, these emotional issues and confidence issues. People who compare themselves to others, they are always not happy. They are comparing their performance to this person's performance. It's not good. It's sabotaging your career, whether you see it or not. It is. I think, there's just so many ways. There is conflict resolution. These are things that I speak about in my coaching. There are people who do not know how to resolve conflict. And if you don't know how to resolve conflict, you're sabotaging your career. Again, I'll just make a brief example. There are people who think that if we are disagreeing at work, then sesiyaxabana. Whereas, disagreements, they are part of life. I think we are people who have different personalities. We are just different. So we will always come with different views. And having a different view doesn't mean that but there are people who just see disagreements that way in the workplace. If there's a conflict, they approach it as we are fighting now. Whereas there's bound to be conflicts in the workplace. It's just how you deal with them. So these are just various ways, really, in which people sabotage their careers, but mine was just limited to these 5. So there you go. I've given you the next 3. I had to keep referring to my notes because I didn't prepare. I was just feeling guilty that, I've promised a video, it's not coming through. So here it is. Thank you.